Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm Drew with Let's Talk Something. And oh boy, do tonight we have a lot of news. A lot of news. I had my notes written down. I went outside and I walked my dog, and by the time I came back, there was a lot more being reported on the news channels, on all these channels that was airing news. So I have a lot of things to talk about tonight. But before I get started, I'd like you to please like, share, subscribe, and leave a comment down below. Oh, one more thing. Don't forget to hit that bell icon. I will greatly appreciate it. So you can get all the latest and greatest from your boy. Today has just been one hell of a day. One crazy day. I went outside this afternoon to go to the supermarket, and apparently, I guess Sunday or Monday, all of these supermarkets actually start enforcing the 5 cents per bag. Some of them don't even have bags whatsoever. They're selling the reusable bag. They have the one for 25 cents, and I believe the other one's $1. But you have to pay for bags. They don't have the regular plastic bags anymore. So I mean, right now, a lot of people their minds is not on that on this bag thing. Not all the reusable bags. A lot of people's mind hasn't been on that lately. I completely forgot about it, to be honest. So when I went there and I got to the register, the girl asked me, do I have a bag or do I need it? And that's when I found out. So all that's going on. But when I went outside today, I felt like I was in an anime, or like in Japan, or China, because I was seeing everybody, or not everybody, but almost everyone wearing these surgical masks. It was crazy. I mean, it was something out of an anime. You usually see that in anime or in a documentary, about somewhere in China or in Japan or something. That's where So it was like weird. I seen a little girl on her scooter scooting up and down the block. She has on her surgical mask, and some people have their headphones wired right through it so they can talk. I mean, so I'm like, that defeats the purpose, because this thing can live on surfaces and stuff like that. So why would you have it running through there? You're defeating the purpose of it. Some people are just wearing the wrong ones, as they say. You need the N95. Some people were wearing I guess the ones that the doctors wear, which they say that is not to protect themselves, is to protect the patients. So if they cough or sneeze, nothing gets in them. So you're only protecting your you're protecting yourself from getting someone else sick. You're not actually protecting yourself, you know, because you have to have a complete seal. And the girl with the headphones running through it, you could see her mouth from the side because it wasn't a complete seal. Some people were holding it up to their face and then take it off. They take it off to speak to whoever they're with. Some people completely take it off to speak. I'm like, you're defeating the purpose of having it on. But I was seeing this like everywhere this afternoon. I felt like misplaced, like I was in the wrong country. But this is the normal right now. These are things I'm gonna have to get used to seeing now when I go outside, because that's the normal. When I go to the supermarket, oh boy. Uh, if you're a wrestling fan like myself, I'm a fan of AEW. But of course, if any wrestling fans are watching and might not have heard the news as yet, WWE has moved WrestleMania from Tampa to the Performance Center. That's where it will be held, and it will be on the WWE Network and streaming, and also on pay-per-view. maybe this will bring subscribers back to the network because as we they had lost a lot of subscribers and stocks are down. And even though I think they should have just canceled the whole thing, uh, and I said in the past that I believe WWE or Vince McMahon who's playing God. You know, I understand that he has a board of investors, and maybe they didn't want that. So they didn't want it to be canceled. But I don't know how they're gonna keep this event going. I doubt it can be the 7 to 100 hours that WWE usually have WrestleMania for. Being that they now say you could only have 50 people or less. You cannot have more than 50 people in one place. So I don't know how that's gonna work out. Being that you have to have the cameraman, but production staff. How many matches are they going to be having? You have to think about this realistically. How long is it actually going to be? How many matches actually going to happen? You know, being with these restrictions that are out there. Now, I want to talk about the people who are basically laid off because there's reports of a lots of people being laid off, with all these restaurant closures and stuff that is being going on. The unemployment, unemployment. There's reports that the unemployment is getting slammed with people applying for the benefits. It's basically a tragedy. My heart goes out. I know I've been unemployed for the last almost 2 years because my daughter's going to be 2 in May, the end of May, the last day of May. Uh, this was a decision that was made by my girl and myself. I'm a guy that loves to work, but being that she is the breadwinner, her job actually paid more. The benefits is better for the kids, being that she works in the hospital. So, and for my job, basically, I would have been paying almost $200 a week to insure everyone. So it was and for her, it's like I said again, for her it's free for her and the kids. So it was the decision was made for myself to stay home and take make sure I take my son to school and pick pick him up. He's in a charter school now, which he's in school from. I drop him off to the bus at 7 something at 7:18 in the morning, and he don't come back home until after 5. And but before that, um, the first year he was going to pre-K, which was from 8:30 till 2:30 in the afternoon, which didn't leave enough time for me to even work. And being at my job at the time had changed the schedule from 7:30 all the way down to 5:30, and the missus doesn't get home until she wouldn't get home until at the time she wouldn't get home until 6:30, and the job would not allow for me to come in any later. I didn't have the choice was pretty much easy that I would stay back and take care of the kids while she works. And before this outbreak even happened, I was actually job hunting. I was out sending out resumes and all that stuff. And now that my son is home because of school closures, uh, I have to put that on. I have to put it on a stop. Actually, no, none of the jobs that I applied for even contacted me because of what's going on. So I know what it's like to be unemployed. This is my second time. Before my kids years ago, I wasn't unemployed. I was homeless from the age of 18 until 21. So I know how it is out there. I feel for all those people who are unemployed. I but luckily you can't get evicted right now. All that stuff is on hold. But what's going to happen when it's on hold? You still don't have a job. When they take it off of hold and you don't have a job, still, you know, it's going to be hard for, and my heart goes out to all of those affected by this. Now, I want to go into this story. The outbreak could hit New York City like the Great Depression, the mayor warns. So, you know, I will elaborate more on this. Let me go into some things. New York City restaurants and bars can now sell wine and liquor for takeout or delivery, but only if they sell it with food following new state liquor authority guidelines. Now, this is actually great for the bars because before the bars had closed, and I mean I've been to a couple of bars. Some bars sell food, you know, so maybe all those bars that were forced to shut down can now reopen and sell food and liquor, you know, but the delivery or takeout only. The only thing is how many people is actually going to be ordering from a bar. I mean, some people might just order some chicken wings just so they can get their alcohol, which is good for the people who's indoors. You have nothing else to do, just watch some Netflix, chill, and drink some liquor. Just get, you have nothing else to do. You're stuck in the house. Excuse me. On some heavier news. Oh, but before I move on that, uh, it's there's a lot of ignorance going on. Uh, Today, I wanted some Chinese food. I haven't had it since before this outbreak even happened, and when I had to go to the before I went to the supermarket, I had to go to the bank because I have laundry to do, so I went to withdraw the money. Passing the Chinese restaurant is closed, but that's not the one I go to at all. So on the way back, I went to the favorite one in the neighborhood. Out of all three or four of them around here, that's the one that I like. They know my address. When I call, they already know where to bring the food and everything. So I walk by, it's closed. All of them are closed in the area because the people are blaming the Chinese for what's going on. But I don't understand what the Chinese here in America have to do with what the country did, what China did by, not by trying to cover it up when it started, allegedly trying to cover this whole thing up when it started. Because as you know, right now, the America and China is pointing fingers at each other. America said it's China. China said no. This was started by a soldier from America. So that's that's the thing that's going on right now, and I didn't get my Chinese food because of the ignorance that's going on. And as I did a story about this in one of my in a previous video of a 59-year-old man being attacked by a 13-year-old, and that 13-year-old is now charged with the first coronavirus hate crime. Um, I went, damn it, I went ahead and said it, but that's what it is. I already said coronavirus. So, yeah, first coronavirus hate crime. I will now to the heavier news. U.S. death toll surpassed 100 with 110 deaths has now reached all 100 with 110 deaths. This the coronavirus has now reached all 50 states. And again, it's now everywhere. Remember before it was only 49 states. Now it's only Now it's in all 50 states. Basketball star Kevin Durant was among four Brooklyn Nets players who tested positive on Tuesday. All four are now quarantined. I don't even know how Kevin Durant even got infected. I mean, he hasn't been able to play because of his injury. They drafted him injured, knowing he won't be able to play for over a year. So maybe he was just hanging out backstage. And of course, everyone by now has heard that Idris Elba has tested positive himself. Uh, he said that he decided to get himself tested because a friend of his tested positive, so he went ahead and had himself tested. But he didn't feel anything. He didn't feel he didn't have no symptoms. So now him and his wife is in self quarantine. Uh, New York, New Jersey, and Connecticut remain under drastic restrictions and shutdowns. New York City Council Speaker wants a citywide quarantine. The governor said it won't happen, but Mayor Bill De Blasio said it's that it's still on the table, and a shelter in place decision will come in the next 48 hours. Now, my thoughts on this is it should happen. They should do a full lockdown, um, because a lot of people are not abiding by you should only come outside. You should only come outside, to get essential stuff that you need. Look at the window, see people just hanging out in the corner. The dealers are still there, dealing. Excuse me, I don't understand. I'm kind of gassy because I'm hungry, but I'm not gonna eat this late at night. It's like what 1 o'clock in the morning, almost 2 in the morning. Um, yeah, there's a lot of people who don't care. They feel like they're strong and this is not going to affect them. Uh, 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 and it's not just young folks; it's older folks as well. I see older folks outside just hanging in the corner and conversating, and everyone is just going about their regular day, like nothing is happening. And I've spoke to people in stores, and they feel like, hey, this thing is just being blown out of proportion. They're just gonna live their lives and they don't care. So this is the reaction that a lot of people are giving. They're like, what's gonna happen is gonna happen, and that's it. You know, and that they're not gonna panic. I'm not a panicker myself, you know, but at a point you gotta think about, even if you don't think about yourself, think about who in your household you could be giving this to. um so I actually think it would be the right move. And if you look at what happened in Italy, when Italy told its citizens to stay indoors and only come out for the stuff you want, and they didn't listen, and it just kept spreading and spreading to the point where they're on track, or they already are worse off than China was. So now they enforced it, and it's enforced where everybody has to be indoor and they only can go outside to get food and essential needs. So hopefully, I was hoping it wouldn't come to that, but if it does, it's something that's needed. But all I want to know is, are we allowed to walk our dogs? Because I don't want my dog pooping on the floor. I don't want her to poop on the floor. New York Mayor Bill de Blasio warns New Yorkers to brace themselves for economic hardship, like the Great Depression. So he's saying the way how the stock markets are dropping right now, how everyone's 401k is basically non-existent. People don't have a retirement plan no more right now. Lots of people lost their retirement plan with the constant drop of the stock markets ever since this outbreak started going crazy in this country and basically around the world. Stocks are down, and it just keeps going down. Mayor, the mayor also said the federal government needs to put money back into the hands of the people whose livelihoods have been affected directly or indirectly by the outbreak, and the city's upended existence could last well through the summer. Restrictions on the city's 25,000 restaurants, which are now allowed to take out and deliver, will likely remain in place for months, the mayor said. Thank God some people will still be employed. As I mentioned before, there's a lot of people who are unemployed and hitting those unemployment lines, which is, or I mean, I don't know if I'm not sure. Don't let me say that. I'm not sure if they're doing online on the line or online because you can apply online. You can apply for your benefits online. And like I said, you're hearing stories of more and more people being laid off because their job. If you work in the restaurant industry, what they because of the lack of customers, they're forced to close their doors. And as we mentioned before, all these Chinese restaurants are forced to close because of the, I guess, threats and stuff, or they just fear that people's going to take it out on them. Are forced to close. Some of them might not even reopen. A lot of these businesses might not even reopen because of all of this stuff that's going on. Because even though they stay closed, they still have to pay rent. Excuse me. Mayor Bill de Blasio said he hopes to reopen schools on April 20th, but watching the trajectory, I can't, this word is slipping my tongue. The trajectory, I don't know how how many times it had to take me to get that right. It's hard to imagine that's going to work. And the way how this thing is escalating right now, I'm not sure that's even going to work right now. I'm not even sure that's going to work. As I said before, New York State is climbing and climbing. The state has 1,000, one 1,374 confirmed cases so far in the entire state. So I don't know how they're going to reopen classrooms, or I mean schools, if this thing keeps climbing on April 20th. They may as well just cancel the entire semester. I mean, the year, may as well just cancel it, but do the, what's the word? Uh, I think they're calling it digital classrooms or whatever it is, because actually today, later on today, I have to go to my son's school to pick up a Chromebook because his school is now going to be doing this digital classroom, and so he has to basically do it online. Today I was actually showing him how to, since we got the news yesterday. Today I was trying to show him how to use a mouse and the keyboard and things like that. So because my son is 5 and he does know how to use the mouse, but he really doesn't know about the double clicking and stuff like that. So hopefully, I'm going to teach him when I get the Chromebook tomorrow, and so he could start, learning how to use it. So who knows? That might be the future. That might be, if this thing doesn't go away and it just keeps on going and they can't get control off of it, that might be the new normal. You get your education from your home. I'm thinking of documenting him, him being at home and basically taking his classes at home. I'm thinking of documenting it and put it out there. But I don't. I'm not sure how I'm even going to do this because his sister, she is one, and she loves her broom brother. When they're home, they play with each other all day. I mean, he has packets from since the school has been shut down. They sent him home with packets since last week from Friday that he has to do, and I have been having him do that. He's reading books, and he's playing with the ABC mouse. So I want him to get some kind of learning going on while he's here, but it's kind of hard to keep him from playing with his sister. So maybe he gonna be, because this is actually his room right now, but he doesn't like to sleep by himself, so he sleeps with us. So that's why I'm using his room to do these videos. But maybe during the day, when he has to do it, he's probably being here by himself. I'll check on him from time to time if he needs help with anything. But I have to separate them too because she will be calling him, and because she wants to play. So I don't know how that is actually. I don't know how I'm going to get that to work out. I really don't know how. In other news, 5 doctors tested positive after reports said they attended a medical conference in New York City last week. The 5 doctors were among 1,300 physicians and educators from all over the country and Canada, opening the possibility that hundreds of emergency room doctors have been exposed to the outbreak. I don't know what the hell they were thinking. You have an outbreak and you decide to have a conference with 1,300 people, or it could be more or a little bit less, but 1,300 people in one room, knowing about this outbreak, knowing about what's going on. Why would you do that? Why would you even think about having a conference? Who runs this? Don't let me say the word. What? That sounds like something that Vince McMahon would do. I don't know. I'm boggled by this. Why would you go ahead and do that? Now it's possible that all or most of them now has this. They're working in emergency rooms and spreading this thing. It's things like this why I think they need a shutdown to stop this thing, because you have those people who are not listening. And when you say physicians and educators, they need to be educated themselves, because you're supposed to be the smartest minds out there and you're doing something this stupid. I'm boggled by this. I'm really, really boggled by this. That I really don't understand this. Uh, Now to New Jersey. On Tuesday, Governor Phil Murphy of New Jersey said a 5-year-old tested positive for the outbreak, stressing that this disease affects people of every age. A lot of young people who think they're healthy, even if you get it, even if they get it, the symptoms are mild. Even if you have a mild case, you can pass the outbreak on without knowing it. And that is 100% true. Because like the scientist or doctor, the guy that specializes in infectious diseases, um I don't remember his name. Can't remember this guy's name. I know Joe Rogan interviewed him. You should go check that video out. Last time I checked, it had over 18 million views. He said you can be a carrier and not even know it. You can be have no symptoms and carry, because you think because you're not you're young and you're strong and you know that, oh well, I'm not gonna die from this. I can just carry it. It's fine. It's fine if I get it, but you're not thinking about, your grandmother or your mom that might be over 50. Nobody, you're not thinking about them. You're thinking about, well, you know, I'm strong, and that's how young people's minds are. A lot of young folks think like that. What about if you? There's a lot of people that have weakened immune systems and don't even know it. So because you're young, don't mean you can die from it. It doesn't mean you won't. You don't know. Sometimes you have stuff wrong with you that you don't even know about. I've heard reports of people that are diabetic and don't even know that they are, because they're not showing any symptoms, or they may be showing the symptoms and think that it relates to something else. And us young folks don't like to go to doctors. A lot of us don't, no matter how old we are. So a lot of us don't like to go, especially men. So I don't understand. I really don't get it. I really don't get it. Now here we go. So there's been price gouging going on here in New York. New York City issued 275,000 in fines for price gouging after receiving 1,000 complaints and 550 violations since March 5th. A hardware store in Garment District was selling 1,200 milliliter bottles of Purell hand sanitizer for $79. $79 for a 12 milliliter bottle of Purell. I don't even know how big that is. I'm about to search that up and see how big that is. Cause for 1,200 milliliter, I mean, I've never seen a bottle of Purell for $79. So I don't even know how that is even possible. I mean, is there a 1,200 one? I don't even know. I've never actually seen it. Okay, so I'm looking at it right now. I'm looking at that right now. Let me see the size of this thing. I want to see the size of this hand sanitizer. Well, they're showing me a dispenser, 1,200 milliliter dispenser. I don't want the dispenser. I want to see the actual amount. I want to see the actual thing. I don't know why. Why? Okay, here's Amazon. I will actually throw this up on the screen. How big is this thing? They're small. They're small. Yeah, they're small. Yeah. There's Right now I'm looking at the. It's a 4 pack and it totals 1,200 milliliter here on Amazon, but it's sold out. Like it wouldn't even show me the price. It wouldn't even show me the price. I don't even know. But I doubt it was $79. I doubt it was $79. Um. Okay, here's this it. I think I actually found one on Amazon. It's small. It's a small bottle. There was no way this was actually $40, $79. It was basically $80. Basically $80. It weighs about 2 pounds. That's nothing. That is nothing. I don't. They deserve these fines, or to even be shut down, or to even be shut down for even doing this. Here we have a massive outbreak. People running around like a chicken without a head, buying up toilet paper like it's the new currency. I guess everybody's gonna be paying each other with toilet paper and hand sanitizers because the shelves are going crazy. Yesterday, I checked up on my father, and he told me he went to the supermarket and the meat. There was no meat. He had to literally drive somewhere else just to find meat. And I think the same thing is going to happen around here where I live. Because today when I went to one of the supermarket, we have two right nearby. The one I went to, there was barely any meat left. It's like the meat was going. I don't know. I mean, they have a butcher on site. I didn't check. I'm the butcher, but I know where they have the already packaged meat. It was basically about. It was almost gone. Everything was almost gone. So I don't know. People's just shopping like crazy, shopping like crazy. I mean, the supermarkets are making all the money. And a lot of these places are making a ton of money, and to price gouge after you making more money than you've ever made before, you want to do things like this. I heard about the BJ's in Brooklyn making like $1 million a day. You don't hear of them. I mean, I haven't heard of anything about them price gouging. I just know their shelves are getting empty. The restock is empty again. You know, like I said, you can't find sanitizer anywhere. Lucky for us, we had a big gigantic bottle sitting in the storage closet from when my daughter was born. Someone brought that over, so we have a big bottle that's more than 1,200 milliliter. So we still have that, which is very good, which is good. And tonight, when I was walking my dog, I went on right here to the concourse right here in the Bronx, and it looked dead out there. I mean, you see people walking, but when I go to the Fordham Road station, train station, usually when the train come in, there's a lot of people coming off the train, a lot of crowds, and I usually walk the dog around there, and there'd be a lot of crowd coming up. There wasn't that many people, but there were people in the streets walking, but it looked dead. Like there was barely any cars. You just see police cars driving up and down on the garbage trucks, but that's it. There wasn't really a lot of cars that usually be out there at the time when I'm walking the dog. It looked like in the mornings when I am taking my son to the school bus, how it's empty. You don't even have the light, but you can you cross over because there's no cars coming. That's how it seemed like tonight. I've never seen the concourse like that so early. Usually maybe 11 o'clock, but not that early, like around 9 o'clock. I've never seen it that early empty. The the rush hours in the morning, barely anything. The buses are not even crowded. People are sitting in the seats with their mask on. No one is standing in the bus. Sometimes you see all the seats are filled up, but there's no one standing. The buses are not crowded at all or anything like that. But there's a lot of people still on the streets, and they're walking around and things like that. So uh, I'm guessing this is going to be the new normal. Maybe for a long time. Maybe for a long time, we're gonna have to change the way how we live. I know people personally who said that they are not uh, uh you know that clean of a person. Yeah, they wash their hands, but they don't want to wash their hands so often. I mean, I'm not wearing gloves or nothing else. I'm like, why would I wear gloves and stuff? When I go outside, I have to anywhere. I have to have the two kids and stuff like that. So what's the gloves? What I'm still got to touch the kids with the gloves on, and I know myself. I unconsciously touch my face, scratch. I might have an itch and I go like this. I'm not paying attention to that. Gloves or no gloves. So something that happens, unconsciously, I do it. So I know myself. I'm like, I'm not gonna be wearing gloves and mask on my face. The thing with me, I can't wear the mask. I have something wrong with the cartilage or something like that. I went to a doctor before. They told me to try the saline. I put the saline up my nose. It's supposed to wash it out, come out the other nostril, or just the ones with the two and it comes out your mouth. Tried them both. Nothing happened. It just came back out pushed right back out the nostril. I breathe through one nostril at a time. It's either one or the other. It's never both at the same time. So when I put stuff like that on, because at my job at one point they wanted us to wear that, and I couldn't breathe through that thing. I couldn't breathe. I couldn't breathe through that thing at all. I was gasping for air because being that I was only one nostril at a time, I wasn't getting enough oxygen to sustain my big ass. So even the gyms are closed. Gyms are closed, casinos are closed. I don't gamble, so I don't give a damn about that. But the workers and whatever, they're now they can't work. The people at the gym can't work. I mean, it was so sad when I walked the dog tonight. It was so sad. Everything. I think the gym. I was across the street on the concourse. I really couldn't see, but from what I can make out, they have a note on the door explaining why they have closed. But I think everybody noticed by now. It's all over the news. It's everywhere. Man, I don't know how it was gonna work out if this is the new normal for a long time. And like I said, people who say they're not that clean of a person, you're gonna have to be. You're gonna have to be that clean of a person because you don't want to catch something. You don't want to catch this outbreak. And like I said, you may, as the mayor said before, you have to be under the assumption that you've already came in contact with this. We all have to come under that assumption. So that's why we need to stay away from our elder, be it as friends or family, whatever. They're the ones who are most susceptible to die from this thing. So we have to do what's right. That's all the news I have for today. Until next time, please like, share, subscribe, hit that bell notification icon, and leave your comments down below. It will be greatly appreciated. And even though everything is sad right now, the way everything is right now, I'll see you guys on the next video. Peace.